time for the start of the 11th Target Series season chase, and we head to the Pocono Raceway for the running of the Gertrude Hawk 250. On the front row, two Pennsylvania natives, Luke Rainey, who comes as number one seed in this chase, leads to the green flag, and who's outside his brother Trey Rainey in the 32 car. Then in third place we have Anthony Hernandez, fourth place is Jake Richardson, and rounding out the top five, the 41 of Alex Fletcher. Starting in sixth, another chaser, Levi Shones. Seventh place, Keyshawn Richardson. Zachary DeLello, a chaser, third seed in this chase, starts eighth. Ninth place, we have Sebastian Dupain, and Casey Nanko, the 14, rounds out the top 10. Back behind them, we have the 64 of Evan Hunter, who's inside the 18 of Jennifer Buford. Then we have Justin Zidell, the 30, and the 2 of Colin Teague, another one of our chasers. Then there's Mathis Wells, barely made it into the chase, and the 00 of Sebastian Kukulon. Then we have Adam McDowell in the number 5 of Jeff Bright. Then there's John Smith, the 04, and Brett Zera finished runner-up in this race last season. Then there's Daniel Lloyd, the 10, and the 47 of Madison Tall, with Eric Olson in the 25 and the 05 of Alex Turner. Then the second seed in the chase, Bronson Meg 42, Max Aronson 23 to his outside. Then there's Tommy Fletcher Jr., the 77, and the 55 of Colton Yo. Then a pair of chasers of Zachary Fitzwater Sr. and Jay Jefferson. Then there's the 6 of Landon Dinkins and the 60 of Michael Gregory. Then we have Roman Fenway and Mason Baskers 19, with Taylor Brian Price and Jake Galway the 20, Riley Spurtu the 9 and Chaser Code Red, DJ Rita chaser and Jose Mills a chaser, and rounding out this 42 car field, Eli Bright the 8 and chaser Landon Lyon starts back in the last row. You have a lot of work to do to make his way through the field. I'm joined once again up in the booth by Trey Bartow. Trey, the start of this season 11 chase, 9 races for these drivers to go out for wins and get points, and it's not an elimination style, it's strict points through these 9 races, so it all depends on who gets the most points. We expected to see with this first race of the chase at Pocono.
Well, there's no better place to do a first race chase other than the tricky triangle itself at Pocono Speedway here. It's a fun track, but it's also very difficult to learn. But as you can see here, maybe a little bit of a favor to the Pennsylvania natives here. The Rainey brothers are up front, so we'll have to see what they're able to do today. But I think today is going to be a mixture of excitement and some, who knows, maybe even some controversy. But I think it's going to be a good race overall.
Yeah, we'll see if those Pennsylvania natives can keep it up the front, especially for Luke Rainey. He needs this for the points. He comes as number one seed, wants to keep that way after the first race of the chase. Let's go down track sets for the most famous words in motorsports.
Race fans, get on your feet! Drivers, start your engines!
And 42 cars are fired up and rolling here at the Tricky Triangle in Long Pond, Pennsylvania for the first Target Series chase race of the season. Points on the line for these chasers, and even a race win gets you even more points. So maybe some of the chasers at the front of the field can be going for victories, while others towards the back of the pack try to make it through the field to limit the point loss in this first chase race of the season. 15 laps of the 2.5-mile Tricky Triangle. It's the Rainey brothers leading to the green flag. It's waving. We're green flag racing at Pocono.
Already here, as I dive into turns 1 and 2, Luke Rainey is out ahead, but he had the lead there, but it looks like already the 21 there of Hernandez is going to get to the bottom of him, and he's going to make a move going into the tunnel turn here, as Trey Rainey on the top side starting to fall back a little bit. Didn't get the start he wanted to, but should be okay here. Depends on how he manages if he can get down to that bottom line.
And very little grip on the bottom. Hernandez already sliding up into Luke Rainey. Some contact made there. Trey Rainey goes middle of 3. 41 of Alex Fletcher to the inside. Hernandez pulls away in the 21, but Luke Rainey, the big loser out of that, he's dropping back big time after the contact with the 21 of Anthony Hernandez. They race through turn 3, off of the third corner for the first time today. Hernandez leads the first lap, Fletcher in second, and where have all the chasers gone at the front? There's our highest. Now it's Colin Teague getting by the 88 of Luke Rainey. Zachary DeLello with him in the 24. They're trying to move by the 88 car on the inside lane off to the first corner.
Yeah, as they go back to the inside there, the 24 is going to try to peak, but as you can see, they're 3 wide up ahead of them. It's going to stall almost 4 wide there. It looked like Trey was going to possibly try to get to the inside there, Keyshawn Richardson, but he thought better of that idea there, and he backed out. So good move on his part, but he's still trying to figure out his best way to get out of that top line for the moment. But at the moment, as you can see here, he's going to go onto the top line here. He's going to lose a spot to the 33 and possibly even the 18 as well. As they're 3 wide again, and a little bit of contact there possibly.
And some chasers rubbing back there through the tunnel turn, but for the race lead, Fletcher's going to dive it to the bottom of turn number 3, the flattest corner here at this racetrack. Here's Dupain with them, and Jennifer Buford, the 18 as well, as they race down the front straightaway, the longest straightaway in the series. Lap number 2 led by the 41 of Alex Fletcher, as drivers start to come to the front. Now 33, Dupain looking low as they race off to the first corner again. Behind Dupain is Jennifer Buford, and there's our highest chaser currently, Matt as well as 16. Also on the inside, 88, Luke Rainey starting to come back forward. Behind him, a 2-time Target Series champion of Adam McDowell, and they look 3 wide off turn number 1. Jennifer Buford looking low for the race lead, but no momentum on the inside lane. The outside, Fletcher getting the push from Anthony S to the tunnel turn. Dupain trying to keep it to the inside as they enter the tunnel turn here for the 3rd time. Dupain's going to get out in front, lead in the 33. Here comes Buford to the inside, the 18.
Yeah, these guys are doing a really nice job of getting around this place 2 by 2 by 2, and even a couple 3-wide situations there. Definitely that 3-wide situation, it can get a little sketchy here and there, especially in that tunnel turn, but these guys are being able to manage it pretty well here and keeping it still competitive here. As Luke Rainey is going to look back at the top spot here and see if he can find a way past the 18 there of Buford. He's going to dive to the bottom going into turn number 1.
Yeah, using that draft well down the long straightaway, get back behind the guy and make it work. Luke Rainey easily to the front there through turn number 1. Jennifer Buford's going to get back in line in second, looks like, with that draft. Hernandez for 3rd on Alex Fletcher. Here comes John Smith, 04. Middle of 3 goes Adam McDowell in the 38 car. Behind here comes Danny Lloyd as well. Dupain's going to back out that 3-wide. Smart move there. You do not want to be 3-wide in the tunnel turn. That is a treacherous corner to even be double file, let alone 3-wide. So great job by those drivers getting through it unscathed. Here comes Bronson Minnick. Came in as the 2nd seed in this chase. Started poorly here today, but moving to the front, trying to move up inside the top 10. A great recovery so far for Bronson Minnick.
Yeah, very good recovery by him. He's slowly moving his way up here. I think he now is in the top 10, if I am not mistaken here. So he's making his way up here. He's going to show Luke Rainey that maybe he should have been the number 1 seed going into this thing. He's going to try to get up there and challenge him a little bit. But as you can see there, Luke Rainey has cleared himself for the top spot. Now they are 2 wide for 2nd there. So we'll have to see how the 42 is able to manage the traffic as it gets tougher and tougher the farther you move up the track.
And maybe for those who don't know how the point system works, let's explain a little bit right here. So the chasers get points based off of each other, not based off of other contenders. So even if Luke Rainey possibly finishes 2nd and the next highest chaser finishes, see a slide job by Justin Zidell there, almost got into the wall, but say the next highest chaser gets 11th place, that's still only a 1-point difference. Even though there's about 10 spots between them, that's still only 1-point difference. So even though Luke Rainey might be, 2 spots or 3 spots at Bronson Minnick, it doesn't matter. If the next chaser is 5 spots behind, if the next chaser is 15 spots behind, it's still only a 1-point difference. So as you can see right here, this is a battle for 12 points currently. Minnick and Luke Rainey are right now the 2 highest chasers. Whoever finishes highest of them gets 12 points. The next highest gets 11 on down to 1. The only difference is if a chaser wins a chase race, they get add 3 bonus points for then 15 points. It is a very unique system. It rewards consistency while also maybe favoring drivers that don't have such great days. They can still stay in it and not necessarily lose a whole amount of points to where they can't dig out of that hole entering the final 8 races. So we'll see how that all works out, and we'll see how that affects how these drivers race in these final 9 races.
Yeah, as you saw there on the backstretch there, the 3 chase contenders there were 3 wide. The 88 of Luke Rainey, the 42 of Minnick, and the 2 of Teague there. But it looks like the one who got the worst of that was the 88. He's the farthest back, and the one that got the best is the 2 there. He's up in the 3rd place now. Haven't really talked about him so much this race, but he's making his presence known now. He's in 3rd, looking top of the 18, but he's not going to get there in time, so we'll have to see what he can do.
And Colin Teague had a very quiet regular season. Was the 4th seed at the end of the regular season, so had a very good first few races and was just very quiet after that and never really talked about him. We talked about Luke Rainey being a dominant force. We talked about Fitzwater being up there, Levi Shones. Never really talked about Colin Teague. He flew under the radar, but right now he's trying to get up on the radar and possibly win this whole thing out as he's looking now low for the race at about the midway point here in the Gertrude Hawk 250. It's getting down towards the end of this race. We've not had yellow flags so far, but it has been an aggressive race for these drivers for sure. We've seen passing, we've seen some beating and banging, and how about some chasers moving up to the front, including the 40 of Jose Mills start at the back of the field, but moving forward, get the push from 41st starter Eli Bright in the 8 car. They're trying to make their way up further inside the top 10 as for the lead, Landon Dinkins low on Colin Teague to turn 1.
Yeah, even Eli Bright there was a car that started way in the back, and he's making his way up here. So it just shows you that no matter really where you start here, you can also make your way up to the front if you're able to play the traffic right and do your lines and hit your marks and all that. But as you can see here, we are 3 wide for the lead with the 2 of Colin Teague up top, the 6 of Dinks in the middle, and the 18 of Buford on the bottom here. But I think, contact there with the 2 and the 6 as they got forced.
Oh!
They're in the wall.
And behind them, they somehow got out of that without wrecking. There were 2 separate incidents of 3 wide, which both could resulted in huge crashes. Somehow, everyone has kept their cars going straight. We're still green, but Colin T cannot be happy with the 6 of Landon Dinkins after that.
No, he cannot, but I mean, really, it wasn't even his fault. I think it was the 05, if I'm not mistaken, that kind of forced it in there 3 wide, entering the tunnel turn, which kind of forced, the 2 and the 6 together. So it was just more of a racing incident than it was, a weird move there. But it seems like they're still going at the moment, so we'll have to see if they're going to be able to recover from that.
And we'll see if Colin T can somehow find a way back down to the bottom lane to try and make these spots back up that he's lost now after that contact with the wall. You see Ed McDowell getting a push from Eli Bright to the tunnel turn. Eli might want to back off of that because look how hard it sent him into the corner. Now Eli might get a spot off of that. For the race lead, Chaser Luke Rainey back on Jennifer Buford, looking to win at home in this 88 car, coming around to 6 laps to go. He's won here before in different series, trying to get it done in the Target Series once again at Pocono and looking to get those 15 points as a winner in the chase. Luke Rainey now to second, Mills to third, and Braun Smith the next highest chaser right now in the 6th position, getting blocked up by Roman Fenway. Landon Dinkins currently inside the top 10, Eli Bright, Tommy Fletcher Jr., and Danny Lloyd all breaking through inside the top 10. Colin Teague still continuing to fade back in the 2 car, losing spots, but so far not really losing any chase spots, which is big for him. If he loses spots to these non-chasers, it's not points that he's losing, but once chasers start passing him, then he's losing points. He's got to be worrying about drivers like DeLello and Wells behind him.
Yeah, you're right. He's just going to do his best to keep his car ahead of everyone else here. He more contact there with the 47. Not sure what that was. Maybe I think the 47 just kind of drove it a little bit too hard into the tunnel turn there and got into the side of Colin Teague there, so he might not appreciate that one as much, but looks like he's going to actually go up the track a little bit here, but he's going to be able to stay in front of the 24, which, like you said, is points. So as long as he can stay in front of this 24 and not let anyone else pass him, he might not have that bad of a day here.
The problem is Mathis Welch just went by them both, so he just gained 2 points off of that one move that Tall pulled. It slowed DeLello down as well, so Teague and DeLello still fading back, but Teague has gotten now down to the inside, so trying now to do damage control and get back forward. DeLello still on the outside in the 24 car. Other chasers back here. Levi Schoen started up towards the front, but has fallen back. Landon Lyde started 42nd in this race, starting to get up now further inside the top third, but time is running out. Fitzwater also back here in the 59. And look back, Trey Ray started second in this race, back outside the top 30. Jay Jefferson is a chaser. He's still back here. He didn't really start well at all in that one car. And you look back, you see DJ Reed the 99 is back here, Code Red back here. They both started at the back, and they're both running back here currently at Pocono.
As we can see here, though, the 18 and the 88 are starting to pull away from everyone else. I think that little incident there with the 6 and the 2 might have, really spaced out the front pack here, which allowed these 2 cars to start separating themselves there. But Eli Bright's going to do whatever he can in that 3rd place car right there to catch these 2 back up. He looks like he's actually starting to pull away a little bit from the 89 of Fenway. But Luke Rainey here is going to look to the inside of the 18 of Buford, and that might slow them up a little bit to allow the 8 of Eli Bright to catch up.
And just as you mentioned, Eli wants to see this happening in front of him. He wants them to get side-by-side for as long as they can, because the more they're side-by-side, the bigger hole they're punching in the air. Already when they're single file, he's catching them about 3 miles an hour down the straightaway. If they get double file, he catches them about 4, 5, 6 miles an hour, and it really, really closes that gap in. He's coming down to 3 to go, so time is running out. But if he just stays there, and if no one tries to pass him, Eli might bring Fenway and Turner up to that battle for the race lead. We could have about 5, 6 cars, and Luke Rainey wants them to come up here. He needs help to get by this 18, because Jeffrey right now doing a great job. Season 5 Target Series champion looking to win here at Pocono and spoil the Chasers party this season with now 3 laps to go in the Gertrude 250.
Yeah, how good of a story would that be for the first race of the chase and a non-chase racer actually wins this race? But Luke Rainey is not going to allow that to happen, as he's going to peek to the inside again, coming onto the back stretch. But I don't think he's going to have the run he's looking for on the bottom side there. But it looks like he might not. No, he is not there. He is still going to be behind the 18 there, unless he's going to try to dive it into the tunnel turn. It looks like he's going to try to, but he's not going to get there exiting. Oh, actually, he is going to get there. Maybe contact there coming off of the tunnel turn. Luke Rainey is not playing around. He wants this top position.
A little bit beating and banging right there. Chaser on non-chaser. Luke Rainey to the front of the 88 car. Here comes Eli Bright, the 8. He'll try and move up to second position and spoil Luke Rainey's part at the front. He's brought Roman Fenway and Alex Turner as well. Here comes Eli with a big run down the front straightaway with now 2 laps to go. He's inside the 88 of Luke Rainey, battling now for the top spot at Pocono. It is chaser Luke Rainey, non-chaser Eli Bright, who's going to get the best of it in turns 1 and 2. Eli Bright trying to get by the 88 of Luke Rainey, but can't get the power down the inside. Here comes Buford and Fenway to also challenge. It's a 4-car breakaway. Here comes Turner in 5th, and if these front 5 start battling, 6th on back like Bron Smith can close, and Eli's still beneath Luke Rainey to the tunnel turn.
We're gonna have to see what Eli's gonna be able to do in this tunnel turn. He's gonna send it in there, but he's gonna make himself clear exiting the tunnel turn. He's now clear in first place, but it also brought the 89 of Roman Fenway right behind him as well. So now Fenway is gonna see what he has for the 8 of Eli Bright. But as that happens, the 88 here is just looks like he's losing spots, but to no chase driver, so it's not really gonna hurt him overall. But now here we have Roman Fenway gonna start to peak on Eli Bright as we exit into the last lap.
White flag is out. Pocono one more time around this 2.5-mile triangle in the first chase race of the season. Luke Rainey right now in position to get the highest chaser points. No chaser near him, but he's not going to be able to get those 3 extra bonus points for winning. Here's the battle for the lead. Eli Bright to the outside, Fenway to the inside. They drag race off turn number 1 for the final time at Pocono. Fenway is the one on the inside, but can't get the power down. Eli Bright will clear on the top for now, but does Fenway send it into the tunnel turn? And if he does, he'll make some contact. There's Eli Bright, the race lead. Fenway behind him, down to the inside. They'll get side by side at the exit of the tunnel turn to turn 3 for the final time. Who's it going to be? And the Gertrude 250. Eli Bright on the outside. Fenway on the inside drives it hard into turn 3 on the inside. He'll make it stick on the bottom off the 3rd corner for the final time. Roman Fenway, the last lap pass over Eli Bright, and he'll beat McDowell back around to win at Pocono. What an amazing finish for Roman Fenway. Got his 2nd victory of the season. Got it off of the last lap pass of Eli Bright, and McDowell made a show there at the end. He tried. He came within a car length of winning this race. But what a crazy first chase race we saw here. And Luke Rainey strikes first. He gets the most points of any chasers. That's going to be big for him moving forward in these final 8 races for sure. Here's how they finished in the first chase race of the season, the Gertrude 250 at the Pocono Raceway. No caution flags today, however, we were very close numerous times. In 9 lead changes, 8 different drivers. Solid lead today at Pocono. And it's Roman Fenway leading only 1 lap en route to victory lane by about 7/100ths of a second. Adam McDowell ends up in 2nd. Evan Hunter will get 3rd. He came out of nowhere here today. Eli Bright led the white flag, but ends up in 4th place, but starting the last row. Can't really complain about that if you're the 8 driver. And rounding out the top 5, Jennifer Buford in the 18 led the most laps at 6 here today. Madison Tall gets 6th place. Alex Turner 7th. Jake Galloway in 8th. 9th place for Luke Rainey, our highest finishing chaser. Started on pole, led 2 laps, and Colton Neal 55 rounds up the top 10, so only 1 chaser finished inside the top 10 here today. The next highest chaser, Jose Mills in 11th, Riley Sprague gets 12th, Eric Olson, Zachary DeLello chaser, and Bronson Mega chaser. So right there, 4 chasers inside the top 15 finishers. They have Michael Gregory, Colin Tiga chaser, decent rebound after the contact middle race. Casey Nanico, Tommy Fletcher Jr., and Taylor Brian Price finish out the drivers that finished inside the top 20. As we look down for chasers down here, DJ Reed gets 27th here today. 29 of Code Red, 29th. Landon Lyons in 30th after starting last. Jay Jefferson 32nd. Zachary Fitzwater Sr. 35th. Levi Schoen 36th. And all the way down the bottom, the lowest chaser here today, the 16 of Matt as well. So that reflects in the right side point standings. Luke Rainey on top, 12 points for him. He's 1 point ahead of Mills, who's 1 point ahead of Zachary DeLello. On down as you go to Minnick, Teague, Reed. And you look even further down, Code Red, Landon Lyons, Jay Jefferson, Zachary Fitzwater Sr., Levi Schoen, and Matt as well. So 1 chase race in the books, Trey. And obviously you can't really gauge anything off the championship. But some drivers used up their mulligan very early on, while others made sure that they made a statement that they're going to be the ones to beat. What's your thoughts after this first chase race?
Well, after today's race at Pocono, 3 main drivers stood out to me today, and that would be Luke Rainey. You know, started up on the pole today, and throughout the entire race, I don't think he ever left the top 10, and he ended up finishing 9th here, and he was the highest chased finisher here today as well. So, you know, very good way to start out his chase hopes, and he's going to hopefully continue that momentum on to the next race. Another driver that really stuck out to me today was the 22 of Levi Schoen. You know, started in the 6th position today. We were thinking he was going to have a good day, but he ended up actually falling back through the field and finished at 36. So not the type of day he wanted to, but you know, every driver has their bad day. So maybe this is just one of his, and he'll do better at next week, which I believe is Richmond. And then the third driver is the 16 of Mathis Wells. You know, he started 15th mid-pack, and not really the qualifying he wanted, but you know, we were thinking he was going to be able to, you know, improve his day throughout the race, but he actually had a very, very bad day and ended up finishing 42nd in last place. So definitely not what he wanted to see throughout that, but you know, it's just one of those things where you got to brush off your shoulder and move on to the next one.
Yeah, definitely used up a mulligan. Normally most chase drivers have a bad race, and this might just be some of those drivers' mulligans, but now they can't afford another one or two, because then you put yourself in a terrible position to try and get to that championship. But Luke Rainey has elevated his game. He's trying to pick up where he left off in the regular season. He's done a great job at it so far, but we'll see what short track racing happens next at the Richmond Raceway for the Target 300. We will see you guys then.